Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is a show where we talk about everything from liturgy.
To Lexapro. Hello, hello,
We
hello, my
sure do.
people. How the heck are
Hello.
ya? How's everybody doing? What's the vibe?
I think
What's the
everyone's feeling
pulse?
nostalgic, which
Yeah,
we'll talk about.
I feel like there's a heavy mix of nostalgia and dread. Um,
So true.
there's been a lot of weird news and then a lot
hmm
of also nostalgic news. So it's a
Yeah,
it's a good mix of both things. But you know what? We're here for just everybody makes mistakes, you know?
everybody has
Everybody,
those days.
you know, and so I couldn't find a way to incorporate the next verse of that song. So
It was perfect.
so all around, I feel like I'm ready to just talk about some dramatic things as usual. But
Me
before
too.
that, though, I know that you are all things camp mode, preparing for camp.
That's it.
Yeah, and your heart is probably ready to receive hundreds of teenage hearts and
Of
attitudes. Yeah,
course.
of course, because you are just an icon in that way.
Thank
Something
you.
about the summer is I will also be there. We will be spending a lot
You
of time
guys.
together. Yeah.
It's the 20th anniversary of Alive in You, and we're celebrating by me and Chanel being reunited because what else is there, you know?
We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Alive and You by making this the biggest vanity project Alive and You has ever seen. We are inviting
So true.
only friends. Julie, Jasmine's sister will be there. I will be there. It will just be exclusive for friends. Will it actually be a
It's so
celebration of the
true.
20th of Alive and You? I don't know, but friends will be
We
there.
added some extra names to make it seem less, you know, less on the nepotism, I guess. I mean, we're not family, but are we? You know? Um, so Shane Smith, the comedian's gonna be there. DJ, who is also our friend, but that doesn't need to be mentioned, will be there. It's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited for the summer. So excited to share it with the ones I love most.
It is going to be amazing, and I can't wait. So, that was an update for everyone on how both of us are doing. We're just anticipating the summer. Also, everyone just submit some prayers to God for me because I did submit for this time off in January. And my boss, who I hope is listening to this,
Yeah.
has not yet approved my time off. So will Chanel pretend to be sick for 3 weeks in a row? Drop in the chat. Go ahead.
She
Yeah,
will.
she will. So I'm just really excited. I think it's going to be really fun. Other than that, how am I doing? I don't know. Going to therapy, cleaning my house. For those that are behind or that are looking at me on the screen right now on YouTube, there are still boxes in this room that I record in. So I have yet to unpack. But
One thing at a time.
I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I'm feeling
There you
motivated
go.
this weekend. I'm feeling like this is going to be my time. So I can't wait. So other than that, just like doing work, updating my Spotify playlist, and watching the Hannah Montana reunion. So I can't
What
wait.
else is there to do?
What else is there to do? Probably nothing. So
Yeah.
do you want to hear some antidepressant Catholic news or what?
I deeply do. Yes, please.
Word. So for our antidepressant Catholic news, the first more important of the two is that we will be at the YCP conference
Don't
again.
forget.
Don't forget. So just wanted to say that is that we will be there. It will be just iconic for many reasons.
Mhm.
One, because we'll be there. Two, because it will also be Queen Jasmine's birthday weekend. So
Oh,
it is
so true.
it is really just going to be the weekend of our dreams. Will
Yeah.
we stay out late and try to go out to eat for your birthday? Maybe.
I think
Will
we'll
we
try.
also just take a shower after we're done? And then maybe just all go to bed? Uh, you
I
know
don't
what?
know. I already texted people about dinner. Yeah. I committed
Uh-oh.
us.
She
I
said that
committed us.
we're going out. Okay, well
No,
then
because
I'm
if I
excited.
don't make plans with other people who won't wanna shower and go to bed, then we have to do it. you know?
You know what? Yeah, because I feel so seen, known, and loved right now because she's like,
Yeah.
we have to make plans outside of ourselves because then we'll go.
Mhm,
Because
mhm, mhm,
otherwise,
mhm.
if it was just up to Chanel and Juliana, we would just be like, why don't we just all take
100%.
showers and see if we can make it until 9:30?
And we could just
So,
order cookies, you know?
and we
Which
probably
still
would
could
have.
happen.
Yeah. So honestly, it's just going to be very powerful. So that was the most important story out of the two. For the second one, um, it was announced yesterday by the Vatican that Venerable Fulton Sheen is going to be beatified September 24th in St. Louis,
Yes.
which is super
Whoa!
crazy. Yeah, which is super crazy.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that's going to be really cool.
So is this
Um,
gonna be the Pope's first US situation? He's coming
okay,
for this canonization, right?
so I thought that, but they're actually going to have Cardinal Tagle come and be the celebrant for the
Okay,
beatification
that's
mass.
still cool, that's still
Yeah,
cool.
so he's gonna be the papal delegate, so the Pope will not be there.
Mm,
But Fulton Sheen, as many of you may or may not know, totally cool if you don't. Your parents probably do because he had a show back in the day on TV. He was the family who prays together stays together guy. So,
mm.
um, just very iconic. Had a show, had a lot of enthusiasm. He was the Bishop of New York for a minute, which is kind of a big deal. He was the director of Pontifical Missions, which goes around the world and talks about contributing to the lives of other people and giving money for missions. So, all around, he's just kind of an icon. So,
This is so
yeah.
cool that it's in St. Louis because there's so many people in our parents' generation and the generation
Mhm.
above that remember seeing him on their TV and like have fond memories of that as a family, as a young child. And so if it was in Rome, the odds of them being able to go and like be part of this are really low. But it being in St. Louis, it's going to be crazy.
It's
I
gonna be
hope the
crazy.
city is prepared. This is going to give National Eucharistic Congress plus,
And
like, it's gonna be crazy.
I really think after the Pope was American, or is American, I feel like everyone was kinda like, "Yeah, prepare to be sick of us as just
Well, it's
America,
gonna be so much worse now.
and just prepare to be sick of us," because, like,
Yeah,
we will really do anything to say, like, "Hey, I'm gonna claim America in this moment, that
100%.
our Pope is American." And then also there is a full-blown beatification happening in America. So that's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's an
Um,
interesting moment of, like, Catholic American patriotism happening. I don't know, it's
yeah,
very interesting. We have a lot of, like some of our big ones are really having a moment, and so
yeah.
it's kinda crazy.
So it's kinda crazy.
Look
So
out.
I'll claim America in this moment. Also, I do wanna clarify because of
100%.
his hard work, the show that Fulton Sheen, Archbishop Fulton Sheen, hosted, Life is Worth Living, was an Emmy-winning show. So
That's so cool.
he's also just like a media icon. He hosted the show from 1952 to 1957. So go home and ask your parents, if they remember watching Fulton Sheen on TV, because
If they were born. Yeah,
if they were born yet, and they probably do. So, just
so true.
pretty pumped about this. I think this is gonna be really cool, and yeah. And also, I did meet Cardinal Tagle in real life. So there
You did.
again,
So
Chanel
kind of a
is
connection point for Chanel.
Chanel is like 3 degrees away from Archbishop Fulton Sheen. So anyway,
That's
just
what I
wanted to say
heard.
that. The next time you see me, you can touch my jacket for free. I won't even charge you.
That's really generous, but only for dedicated listeners. You have to show us your Spotify Wrapped.
Third class miracle. So anyway, um, are you ready to do a little jig before we move into like honestly, we have 2 stories, you guys,
I'm
and
really ready.
they're gonna seem short. I mean, it's gonna seem short, like we only have 2, but it's because they just require so much.
There's a
So
lot of depth here.
I feel like we should do a little jig before we get into it.
Yeah, I'm ready to dance a little. Here we
Yeah.
go.
So for our first story, we're going to do a little recap review, reminisce, nostalgiagram on the Hannah Montana reunion. So last week we
Mhm.
talked about it happening. It happened. We watched it.
We were there.
Um, we were there in person. I got a strand of her hair. Just kidding. I wish.
Everything
Um,
she's saying is a lie, but we remember it all too
but we
well.
remember it all too well. So we did watch it, and it was a moment. It was a moment in media. So I had a
Yes,
lot of thoughts as I was watching it. A few of my top thoughts are,
please.
where was the rest of the ensemble cast? I feel like that was just, I couldn't get past. I mean, Chapel Roan, okay. It's good to have somebody that's like, yeah, I admired the show. Like, you were
But
iconic and I'm iconic.
that's what Alex Cooper was.
Eh,
She was like, "I was a big
but
fan." We already
yeah, and
did that.
it's like we already did that. Okay, so like that's one, and then two, like where was the ensemble cast? And honestly, that was my biggest complaint. It was really just kind of like, sure, Miley was Hannah,
Yes.
and Hannah was an icon.
Mhm.
However, Jason Eiler's her brother on the show was one of the funniest. Like, he was one of the reasons why that show was so funny. Is this Iris
100%.
who was that, like, little guy, that had, like, I think he had a crush on her, or he's really mean to her, I can't even remember, oh my gosh. He was also a reason why that show was so
Okay,
funny.
and I saw a picture from the premiere,
Yeah,
and they were both there.
they were both
So I'm
there, so
like,
I'm
"So you
like,
can show up to the premiere, but where was your, like, 15-second cameo?" Like, I would have taken them having their little, like, jerky and cheese or whatever stand in the
yeah.
backyard. Like, where was
Where was
just a
Emily
little
Osment?
something?
She did say that she couldn't make it because she was filming her other TV show,
That's
which, like,
silly.
fine.
This trumps everything.
But I honestly feel like someone couldn't have recorded an iPhone video being like, "Hey,
Okay,
Emily here.
okay.
Miss you guys. Really, one of my favorite memories was blah blah blah." So I felt like it was, I mean, and again, this is going to sound crazy because Miley is Hannah Montana, but I felt like it was pretty Miley centric. I would, like, she was kind of completed by the cast, and I, like, the moment where her and Billy Ray were, like, reading lines together, I was kinda like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And it was just, and, like, her and Trish, her mom, going through the closet being like, "This is cute, this is," I was kinda where's Jesse McCartney? Like,
I know.
there's so many, like, guest
No.
stars that
Mhm,
could have
mhm,
happened.
mhm,
Where's the
mhm.
freaking Jonas Brothers?
Where are the
Like,
Chanel,
what
Chanel,
is going on?
to
I
show
was
you
like,
how in sync we are, can I read you just a couple of my texts to my sister
"You know
during
what?
watching
Yeah,
it?
go
You
ahead."
were asleep, which is why I was not texting you, but
Yeah.
she texted me and said, "I was sad Jackson wasn't there." Of course.
Mhm.
I
Of
said,
course.
"Chapel Roan was so random." Then I said, "Where were the Jonas Brothers? Where was Jesse McCartney? Frankly, where was Taylor? Like, where pull the budget.
Whoa, that would have
Who wasn't
pulled
singing
the
crazier?"
budget.
I like, "Come on." I said, "Rascal Flatts?" Like, they're not
They
doing it.
could have even done Rascal
They could have come.
Flats.
Dolly, her
Oh,
godmother? And then I said, "Blue Jeans the horse?" Which Juliana said, "That Blue Jeans died." She said, "I hope you're sitting down."
I hope you're sitting down because Blue
And so
Jeans is
then
not with us anymore.
I said,
Yeah.
"Honestly," all caps, "where was the Blue Jeans tribute?"
Where
But that's
was?
even worse. That's even worse. That Blue Jeans who meant so much to her died and you didn't even tribute. Um,
Mm, mm,
Now I will say, outside of my rage, and I wanna hear your thoughts about, like, the meat of the content that we enjoyed.
yeah.
Outside of my rage about all the people that didn't show up, I felt the same as you. Where was just, like, the quick blurb of, like, the Jonas Brothers being like, "This is what Hannah meant to us." Like, "This
Yeah.
is what this meant to us." Raven being like, "This is what it was like having, like, a younger star come up." Like,
Mm,
I really wish they would have kind of meshed that, like, yes, the Hannah-verse was its own thing, but,
mhm.
like, it was inside of the Disney Channel show. Like, when she told
Yeah.
that story about, like, Zach and Vanessa and, like, riding in the
Yeah.
car with that, I was like,
I would have loved
"Yes,
to, like,
this,
get into the
more of
meat.
this."
Like, that was
Yes.
the golden era of Disney
Oh my gosh.
Channel,
Yes, and we're
like
all, like, frothing at the mouth for more
like
information now
Disney
still.
Channel games, like, talk
Yes,
about the and the
I
thing
know.
is, like, "I don't give a crap that Dylan Sprouse was your boyfriend.
So
Tell
crazy.
me more tea about the Jonas Brothers. Like
So I
I
think what we're saying is we need a 20th anniversary Jonas Brothers special, but we need it to be a full expose, or we just need like a what was Disney Channel like in 2006? And all the people come back,
yes,
and we need, like, a docuseries, not a
yes.
documentary. I need, like, a 12-episode docuseries, hour-and-a-half episodes. I need it to be so intense, like they're looking into some conspiracy theory, like, I
Mm.
need it.
Now,
That's
granted,
what I
we
need.
have gotten a docuseries with
Yeah.
stars of various channels. However, it
It's
was
not
about
giving me
child
what I need.
exploitation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no,
So
no, no.
we do
Not that
want
kind.
so we do want us to just quick focus on um the
The teen
the
drama.
the teen drama, like
Yeah.
the fun drama and the nostalgia piece is what,
Yeah.
because
I
those in
want
the
not an
chat,
adult to be mentioned. I want it
yes.
just to be about the teen encounter.
Exactly,
That's it.
because we just kind of want, like, has done her work, like, that's okay, and
That's
we
good.
just kind of would
But tell
like,
us the tea,
tell us, like, the fun tea, like,
the fun
did
stuff.
anyone hold hands at the Disney Channel games? Like, that's what I kind of wanna
Yeah.
know, like, I want to know, you know, like, for example, I think one of the things that I was like, "Oh, I actually enjoy knowing that," when Miley said that why the Jonas Brothers went on tour with
Yeah.
her, she was like, "Because Nick was my boyfriend, and
Yeah,
I
she,
wanted
like,
my
told the
boyfriend to come."
Disney exec, like, "Okay, I'll go on tour, but my boyfriend's gonna open for
And
me."
they were like, "Okay."
Icon. Icon.
Icon. And, like, and
Amazing.
that blessed us because
Yeah.
in that moment, the Jonas Brothers were it. They were
100%.
him, they were them. And so,
Mhm.
I also recall being, like, freaked. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
verklempt. And so, I feel like that was, like, a good piece of tea. I don't know, I was wanting more, but I was really happy that she did sing for us, which was iconic. I heard The
She
Climb,
did, yep.
it was sweet. I did like that or that she did the Hannah Montana, like, looking through the door, like, like like, waiting. I
I
did enjoy that.
love
Yeah.
I so agree. We were thought of by many people while they watch this, which is really the great honor and what I want to be remembered by in this life.
Okay.
So thank you for all who thought of us. One of our friends texted me last night and was like, "I'm watching the Hannah Montana special and she's singing The Climb and I'm so emotional. Like she's come so far, I've come so far, and I'm just like thinking about you and Chanel." And I was like, "Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. This is my
She's
legacy."
come so far, I've come so far. Aren't we all just, there's always gonna be another mountain, but haven't you guys traversed, like, your fair share of
And
mountains?
like you've made it move. You have
You've made
climbed
it
it.
move.
You
You've
have
climbed
gotten to
it.
the
A
top.
100 and something episodes later,
You
you have
have
climbed
done what you
mountains.
needed to do.
Well done.
So, good job. You fought the fight. You've run the race.
Well done,
Who's
good
to say
and
the climb
faithful
isn't
servants.
scriptural, you know? Um, but yeah, I thought overall it was a beautiful moment to see a child star reflect on their experience, their
Yes.
rise to fame. Obviously, she stopped talking about it right as she then transitioned back to just being herself, Miley
Mhm.
Cyrus.
Mhm.
Which she mentioned was like kind of rocky, but her mom always stood by her. I thought that like familial relationship is really
That was
beautiful.
sweet. Mhm.
Again, this is what we've talked about that like I can't remember who we were comparing to the other day, who has a supportive mom who's like kind of navigated fame really well.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think like there's something here to like her referencing her mom committedly being with her the whole time is so
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was.
And so I just love to hear that, and I think that's really great that she was able to bring her mom and highlight, like, the role her mom had in the show behind the scenes. I
Mhm.
do feel it got a little chatty with their mom, and we get it, but they're
I
very
was kinda
cute.
like,
Their dynamic is
"Trish,
cute.
Trish,
Trish,
babe, we're good, babe. We're good." At
we
a
get
certain
it.
point, I wanted to be like the person at the Apollo that swept people off the stage, like, "Just Trish, it's okay, we're good, like, we get it, you're her mother, you were there, like, let's move on and bring out Jesse McCartney, thanks."
No, I did want Jessie, but yeah, I do think her processing back on that experience of a show and it not being traumatic, like,
Mhm.
not a mention of, like, "This was really traumatic," or "This happened." Like, I just thought that was really nice and really refreshing because I do feel like a lot of things from our childhood that we watched and we're like, "Oh
Pretty
my gosh, this is
traumatic.
the best. They're all living these great lives. Like, this is the best." Then when they go back and talk about it, they're like, "Anyways, in my trailer, this was happening." Like, and it's
You're like,
really kinda like, oh, now when I
yeah.
watch that, I'm thinking about that. Like, we can watch Hannah Montana unscathed. Like, this is still good and was a good experience for her, and she's, like, thanking the Disney man who hired her. I don't know his name. You know, like,
The
it was like
Disney man.
the
Our
Disney
great
man.
leader, the Disney man. Yeah.
No, because when he read that letter saying that he hired Miley, I just was like, "This is so nice." Um, and I thought that was really wholesome and beautiful, and the way it got so many people to kind of reconnect to their inner child and, like, remember what it was like to just feel so carefree and, like,
Mhm.
so invested in these, like, silly teen romances that we made these, like, preteen and teen hormonal people famous, which was just really put on blast by the way she was like, "That was my boyfriend, that was my boyfriend." I was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys were really all dating each other." We really made a bunch of
We were
hormonal young
all
people
right.
famous.
All of the YouTube compilations I
Yeah,
watched of the Jonas Brothers and Miley together were correct. Yeah.
yeah. It
So,
was
yeah.
exactly what you think it was.
So, yeah.
And that was just really beautiful. So those are kind of my over I feel like I could talk about this for hours,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of things I loved. I thought that Alex Cooper did a really good job interviewing. I thought that there was a lot of, like, depth. You know, I think she did a good job. I think Hannah was vulnerable as she is.
Now, what I
It's
would have
good.
said as a conclusionary thought is
Please.
that I would have said that I would have said, I am saying that I think that Brooke Shields should have been the interviewer because Brooke Shields did play Hannah's dead mommy. And I really feel that that would have just been like iconic
I
because
know.
Brooke Shields is Brooke Shields, but also because like that just would have been so great to just be
It
like,
would've. Or
you know,
Dolly should have
or
interviewed
like
her. Like,
Dolly, like that would have just like
or
these iconic
everyone from the
women.
old cast should have asked her one question. The Jonas Brothers should have asked her one question. Everyone should have gotten to ask her one question.
So we're just
That would have been
circling
cool.
back to where was the rest of the ensemble, but that's okay. That's okay.
Where
That's
was Nick?
that's for the 30th. That's for the
You
30th.
know what? I will hold out. I will
I'm gonna hold
hold
out. So
out.
let us chill. Let us chill. For our final story of the day, you guys, okay.
People aren't okay.
So we talked about the Bachelorette premiering, and if you're listening to this and you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, and a heart, you see that it did not premiere.
It did not, and you know, because in our last episode, I recorded a quick blurb before our episode and was like, "The Bachelorette is canceled, everybody." Um, and essentially brief, but we have not gotten to process with one another
Yeah.
on mic.
Yeah.
So, Chanel, I would like to give you the floor. Tell
Wow.
us about kind of your thoughts, your opinions, where you think this stands for Mormon Wives. Will they ever pick cameras back up? Will Mom Talk survive
Will
this?
mom talk? Wow, Jasmine.
I know. And I should have interviewed Hannah.
Seamless integration,
Mm.
seamless, yeah. You should have been there for Hannah's interview, for real, you would have killed it. So honestly, just a few quick thoughts is, I mean, we both kind of felt this before,
Totally,
that it
totally,
felt
totally.
kind of icky and weird. I do wanna say that media will media, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, the conglomerates will conglomerize, and they hired Taylor Frankie Paul knowing of these accusations that she had that you had mentioned in previous episodes before the video came out, which the video came out last week. Um, I probably wouldn't recommend watching it to anyone. It's like pretty intense and
Really sad.
it's really sad. But like they knew about those accusations. They knew that she pleaded guilty before they brought her on. I think they were kind of just thinking like, okay, our audience will kind of push through this for the sake of the drama. And
And everyone
ult
did.
and
You know,
everyone
like,
kinda did
not past the
immediately.
video, but, like, everyone was fine when ABC was like, "She's gonna be the Bachelorette." Like, to a fault,
Yeah.
we were like, "This is gonna be a great crossover. This is gonna be refreshing for The Bachelor." And I do think, like, the idea, and I hope they stick with the idea of hiring someone to be the Bachelor, Bachelorette that's outside of the franchise is objectively a good idea. I think getting some fresh energy is a good idea. I haven't watched season 1 of Mormon Wives in so long, I don't think of Taylor Frankie Paul and think of that arrest situation. I also wasn't that invested when I started watching that show to go read the police reports. Like, people are like,
Mm,
"Well, how come you didn't read the police?" I'm so sorry. If I read the police reports of every reality TV show I'm watching right now, I would never sleep. Like, there's
mm.
too much going on, you know? And so I do think, like, ABC was maybe hoping that those would never come to light and that we
Yes,
would
they were
all never see the video.
they were hoping, or they were just kinda like, maybe these people just still won't care. So,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. So, like, I think,
but
you
the
and
people
I both
cared.
yeah, both of us felt icky about it in the beginning. Sure, it was gonna be like, yeah, this'll be a new take because The
Yes,
Bachelorette is a little bit washed, The Bachelor is a
it's
little bit
getting
washed, like,
stale.
it's
Yeah,
getting stale. So, we were kinda like, yeah, this could be exciting. But then the video came out, and that was just people were like,
too
"No, we're not
far.
riding like that." It was too much.
Well,
And
there's
if
also current domestic
and there's
abuse
also current
open
and
cases.
there also is an alleged 3rd charge that is happening currently, and it's just really kind of,
There's too much it's, like,
it
such a hot issue right
yeah,
now.
and, like, my thoughts are just 1 is that obviously, the company just kind of thought, "Hey, the drama is worth the kind of, like, putting this person in the spotlight, even though they have some serious, like, mental health deterioration and need to get a grip on their own self-control and life." Um, and so, like, that's kind of a bummer, and it just made me think and evaluate a lot of the shows that I watch and how we put people in positions for the sake of drama,
Yeah.
which is reality television, but it's just kind of like
Mhm.
at this point, you see people online that are like, drop the season, I'll watch it anyway. And it's like, we know that she's not gonna even choose but why do
Well,
we have such an itch? I don't know. So those are my
I
thoughts. What are
know.
yours?
No, we live to see an exposé. We live to see behind
Yeah.
the scenes. Really interesting, the guy, I think his name is Doug, that apparently did get engaged to her at the end of
Mm.
the season.
Oh,
Spoiler, doesn't matter.
spoiler.
Um, has released a statement in support of her.
Mm,
And saying, like, that he can't believe this is happening, whatever, whatever. A lot of the men are kind of speaking out because, like, they really lost their minutes of fame, which, like, okay,
mhm,
well, whatever. Go on a live, say you were on the show, you'll get attention. Like, at
mhm.
this point, tell them what your experience like, I don't know. It's all really crazy, but I do see what you're saying. I think people are so hungry for, like, more and more and more information as we've talked about, and I've said, like, the reason that the Mormon Wives show is so successful is because they hold nothing back. Like, Taylor talked about the arrest after it. Like, they will tell you anything. Like, they're very honest. People always say, like, Taylor as a reality star, she's like honest to a fault. Like, she's too honest. And I think the other girls try to like match that energy.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think even more so, people think they have access to their lives because they're like,
Mm,
well, you've given us all this access. Why aren't you continuing to show it? And so I think people just get like hungrier and hungrier for more information. And right now,
agreed.
Mormon Wives is like really pumping out information.
Yeah,
Jesse Draper, who's on the show, was just on Call Her Daddy yesterday,
yeah.
announcing her divorce and kind of giving the behind the scenes to that. So insane. And obviously, this is one woman's perspective. Her husband seems like kind of the worst. So I am inclined to feel like some of what she's saying is the truth. But it's all like really intense. The interesting thing I thought is that Jesse was talking about how the producers of her show were so supportive and how when she
Mm,
started reality TV, people said, like, look out for the producers. They're really slimy. They won't respect your boundaries. And it kind of reminded me of Hannah. I'm like, the theme is like supportive production this
mm,
week. Because she said production has never pushed them to film when they're not comfortable. Right now, they're on a filming pause because first the execs were like, I think we need to take a pause because they knew the video was going to come out. And instead of having all the girls, like, respond to all the stuff in real time, they're like, "Let's pause and actually figure out what's happening before you say something that is not gonna age well,"
Mm.
before you say, like, "Taylor would never throw a stool." Like, Taylor would not like, let's just take a hot sec. And then they, like, resumed filming, and then the girls were like, "We're not comfortable until we know what's actually going on," and they were like, "Okay." So they're back on a filming pause. People are up in the air about, like, if they'll ever come back. I think they'll come back, but I don't think Taylor Frankie Paul will ever be on reality TV, nor should she again,
I
in my
feel
opinion.
I don't know because there have been worse on reality TV. There have been
You know
people
what?
who
Yeah.
have perpetrated worse things on their castmates,
Ugh.
and if we're talking about, like, Real Housewives, like, there
I
have been
think
worse. There
because
have
the
been
allegations right now are with a child, like, current stuff.
Okay,
I
wait.
think that's
Yes,
the
you
yeah.
know what,
The
actually?
her and Dakota
You're
whatever,
right,
but
you're
I
right,
think
you're right, you're right.
currently yeah, as it stands right now, at least from what I currently read, and I can't tell anymore what is actually
What is
happening.
real?
I know, but it looks like Dakota has full custody of their son
They
right
do,
now,
or he
and
does,
so
yeah.
I think if that is I don't even wanna say but if any of that comes to light and is true after they've gone to court and whatever. I believe she has a court case like April 7th or something. Like if any of that if she pleads guilty, then like I think that's it on her reality career.
Yeah, because I don't you're right, because the child involvement is like
Yeah,
it's a new
100%.
layer of the peeled onion, so that is different because the castmate to castmate was pretty
People fight all the
grown up. People
time.
fight all the time and
We
say
watch Jersey
horrific
Shore.
and said horrific things or done horrific things, and then they've been brought back for the next season.
100%.
But
Yeah.
the child piece is a pretty integral piece to this whole thing, and I do
Yeah.
think that kind of changes it a lot. And also, I think with the video particularly, which again, we, like, don't think anyone should watch, I think just, like, the child involvement in it was just, like, next level, and so people were kinda like, "Mm-mm," there's kinda, like, no way to really come back from that. So I just, I think, like we said last week, this would be a great opportunity for her to just heal, and I hope that she takes this as an
I hope she
opportunity for
takes
healing
it.
because I think rather than, like, reposting on Instagram and, like, going on the defense and then, like, talking about how people should drop your season and watch it anyway, I think, like, maybe go to California, stay in,
And
like, a
maybe like
beachside,
yes,
recovery
you
place
can
and
afford
just
it.
take a deep breath and just
Yeah.
be away. Like, we don't need this kind of attention to sustain us and to affirm us as persons, and I think a lot of us get caught up in the, like, whether it's on social media or in whatever, in person. I love a affirmation, like, don't get me wrong, but I think, like, we all just need to take a deep breath, and maybe this is a point where she could do that, and I
Yeah.
hope, like, Dakota could do that, she could do this,
The whole
she could do
crew,
that, the
yeah.
whole crew, because there was some more drama that came out of Mormon Wives,
I know.
but, it's just like, I just think we may just need to take a deep breath because
Yeah.
it might be the end of mom talk, and that's okay.
It would be okay. I don't think it will be. I think there
I
is so much
agree.
buzz right now. I think they're gonna come back and it's gonna be even more popular than before because people are
Mhm.
gonna be like, "These girls are crazy." Like, I think they're gonna get a lot of buzz post
Mm,
this, and I honestly think it'll be good for the show for them for it to be like, let's maybe make this more of a collaborative effort than like there's a
yeah,
leader of mom talk. Like
yeah,
you know, I think the overall interesting thing, which the article you shared with me is like, we need to talk about like the mental health state of reality stars. Like, I think for a long time we've like thrived on watching reality stars as they all have a little mentee bee. Like, there's nothing like a reality star breaking down and really hitting their limit in life. And I think, like, the Mormon Wives are a testament to that. Like, this show, they've only been filming for 3 years, and they've given us so much life, but, like, so many marriages have ended. Now people are in, like, legal investigations. Like, there's a lot happening here, and, like, the money and the fame, it doesn't always help you, you know? Like, sometimes it can exacerbate things and, like, make things worse, and, like, I think Michaela or I not Michaela, sorry. You're safe. I think Dakota and some of the other men have really, like, rode the coattails. Now it's come out that, like,
Mhm.
Dakota was on a different reality show before and,
Mhm.
like, nobody knew that. I think people have really tried to, like, rise to fame. I think the him filming her, kind of, like, baiting her to, like, be violent and then releasing that to is so icky. Like, it's just
Yeah.
the whole thing, like, I feel like it just shows how far people will go
Hmm.
to get attention and to get fame, and it really is like the mental health crisis is on full blast in reality TV.
Mhm.
Um, and I think the tough thing is, like, young people watch this, and this is just another push for, like, parents to be really aware of what their children are consuming, because I feel like the more you are consuming this, the more, like, being dramatic in your life feels
Mm.
justified. Like, the
Okay.
quicker you are to be like, "Well, I can't believe she did that," whatever, whatever, because, like, you're watching Teresa Giudice, and that's how she's gonna talk. So then, like,
Yeah.
you start like, it really is true. Like, I know people say, like, the 5 people you surround yourself with most, you start to take on their personality.
Yeah.
I do feel that, like, you can become more dramatic, see your life in a more negative light, see everybody as like a threat to you, the more you're only consuming this. And we say this as people who do consume reality
A
TV.
lot of media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who both will have times where I'm like, "Hey, I can't watch it this week because I need to just, like,
I
watch
can't.
something light
Yeah.
that isn't gonna
Mhm.
make me feel whatever," and
Yeah.
we'll, like, take breaks. And I think it's, like, important to just not always feel like you need to be consuming
Yeah.
this media if it's affecting your mental health in the way that it's affecting the girls who are on the show's mental health.
Exactly. And I feel like at the end of the day, the motto is take a deep breath, everyone. Step away,
Breathe.
touch some grass. At the end of the day,
100%.
reality TV is not reality, you guys. Like
It's not. They're doing it up.
there are producers for a reason because they
Mhm.
produce. So they need to produce a show that people will watch. So, if you need to take a break from it, cool. For people that are like, I'm never gonna watch any of Bachelor franchises again, cool. You are probably not gonna watch this
Respect.
anyway, but like also respect,
Yeah.
hey, like there have been moments in the Bachelor franchise where I'm like, what the freak? And they've done things where I'm like, uh-oh. And every
This isn't
season I
their
kind
first
of
time doing something weird.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and every season I kind of watch and I'm like, "Okay." Um, and I've been kind of tapering my way to, like, I'm sure one day I'm not gonna watch this anymore, and me and the 2 friends that I watch it with, Jasmine and Juliana, will
Mhm.
probably also be like, "Nah, let's switch to something else." And, like, that's okay, and that day will come. But if that is now, great.
Time will tell,
If that
honestly.
is it's
They're
in the
gonna have to have
future,
the
who
craziest
knows?
cast.
Time
I
will
don't know.
tell. So in the interim, though, we do want everyone to just take care of themselves, and in the
Just
news of
yeah.
Taylor Frankie Paul, we hope that you use this as a time to just chill the heck out.
Just chill out. And something that Jessie said in her interview too, she was like, "We'll film a 4-hour scene and you'll see 4 minutes." And I
Mm,
think, like, we know that, but I really feel like people need to remember that, like,
mm,
in reality TV, on social media, even in your real life with people, like, you see such a sliver of
mm,
what people's experience is, and we really need to offer, like, less conviction on, like, we know that this person's a good person, that person's a bad person, less judgment of, like, this person's life is like this, and this, and just, like, more grace to people, especially people in, like, our actual real day-to-day life that, like,
mhm,
you still only see like, your coworkers, you see, like, a sliver of their life. Even, like, some people in your family, you see a small part of their life, and I think in general, we need to just be slower to assume that we know people like that, you know?
mm. And that is the word, because every minute of every day, the world can seem a little depressing, a little dreadful, you know, but there is hope, and his
There's so much
name
hope.
is Jesus.
It's
Um,
Jesus.
and
There
Jesus
is.
might watch ABC or Bravo. Who knows? You
Who
know?
knows?
Who
But
knows?
certainly Hannah Montana.
But certainly he watches Hannah Montana and he listens to Anti-Depressing.
Of
We love you guys.
course. We love you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.